Hi guys, welcome back. So, competition winners, we had our 5 lucky winners. I am waiting to hear back from 2 people. The names that I am missing who are yet to contact me is a Christopher Solowski and a Layla or a Lila Madden. So if those are your names, please respond to the message that I sent you underneath your winning comments. As for the rest of you, thank you for taking part. I had so much fun, I've decided that this channel needs this once a month. So I'm going to do a competition, just fun little prizes once a month. So this will all be coming back to you in August, but I hope you all join in for the next one. It's going to be slightly different. So let's move on. The schools have broken for summer. That means let the chaos commence for most parents, who are generally cool as a cucumber at the beginning of the summer holidays and end up a nervous wreck by the end of it. But with summer holidays, it also means that our royals are generally on summer holidays too. Catherine and William have already gone away with the children, but we saw the King and Queen Camilla. They were getting ready to have their holiday break as well up at Balmoral. Now, this is what the Queen did every single year. Charles is going to continue with that tradition. I can imagine it might be a little bit hard for him the first year because obviously that's where the Queen passed away, but I'm sure he's got so many happy memories of being up there with his parents. So I wish the King and the Queen a very nice break. But before they departed for their beautiful Scottish retreat, they had one last event, and that was the flower show held at Sandringham. They both looked in great spirits as they greeted the many well-wishers. People of all ages were excited to meet the King and Queen, who arrived in a carriage. And I have to say, Charles looked in an incredibly good mood, but also very, very dapper. I love the suit, love the sunglasses. Flower shows always as well make beautiful backdrops for photographs. And there are some really lovely ones that were taken of the Queen as she went round and, well, enjoyed, like everyone else, members of the public, all the beautiful flowers that were on display. Seeing how popular that they are at events like this makes it more obvious to me, however, that the media is obviously still trying to spin a different story. We read so much negativity out there, and in truth, the proof, as they say, the proof is in the pudding, because when you see them at events like this, you see people clambering over each other just to be able to meet and greet them. I know not everybody's a monarchist, obviously, but there is quite clearly quite a lot of people that are. Now, you can see by both the King and the Queen, their interaction with each other and with other people, that they were having a lovely time, maybe excited that they were about to go have a break away from the public eye. During their walkabout, when they were meeting members of the band that was playing to welcome them, and also some 4-legged friends that had arrived, some in a very nice carriage of their own, they also went into a few of the tents. Some of the tents housed the flowers, and in this one particular tent, it would seem that they had, I believe, a bakery competition. And there was one particular piece of pastry that caught her eye. "That looks exactly like my husband," she exclaimed, much to the giggles of the ladies around her. "Darling, darling," she calls over to Charles. Needless to say, however, that when he saw the homemade apple and rhubarb masterpiece, he himself was overcome with a giggle or two. Although, to be fair, he did express that it looks more like Wallace and Gromit. I love the way that Camilla was ribbing him over it, the way that she called him over, "Darling, you must see this," and the way that Charles laughed it off. It was just a pure, candid moment. It wasn't set up, and it was cute between the couple. Now, I know some people criticise me for saying the word cute, because cute, you think, oh, a little baby or a puppy. I think cute, personally, I use the word as in when a couple look extremely loved up. It's a very sweet moment. It's a personal moment. It's like, ah, that's really cute. And Charles and Camilla do have lots of lovely moments, often captured when they're not actually directly looking at the camera. It's pretty obvious that these two absolutely adore each other. They have no qualms in poking fun at each other at public events. I just think they are such a lovely couple, and as they say, it's actually been proven by scientists that a couple that laughs together stays together. Now, speaking of royal cute couples, we also had some photographs that have come straight out of Saint-Tropez, where Princess Beatrice has been photographed with her husband Edo, looking genuinely loved up. Naturally, people, oh gosh, they've dared to go out without their child. I'm pretty sure they took the baby with them. You know, they do have parents, they have friends. Couples, once they have children, also like to have couple time. It's honestly, it's crazy. But I think the people that are criticising in are going to be the same sort of people that would jump on anything. There are some people that just cannot warm up to Beatrice because of her parents. These are another couple that have had so many negative comments and people attacking their relationship from the get-go. They didn't trust Edo. They thought Edo was going to cheat on her. Edo was using her. And they don't actually understand that Edo is a very rich man. Edo actually comes from aristocracy. He is an incredibly well-connected high society just from Italy. So all of those people that are saying he's using her, it's actually quite a good match. He's got no reason to use Beatrice for anything. And Princess Beatrice, she seems to have gone from strength to strength since falling in love with her Italian businessman husband. Her fashion choices have dramatically improved, shall we say, and she just looks really happy, really settled, and really content. Beatrice also has a really lovely way about her. She goes about her royal charities that she's affiliated with very, very quietly. She was incredibly close to both her grandparents and she just comes across as sweet. She's involved with lots of fundraising events over the years and she even auctioned off that monstrosity of a hat from William and Catherine's wedding where the funds that were raised went to various children's charities. I don't know if she will ever become a full-time working royal, but I definitely think that she's an asset. You know, I've said before that the royal family need more feet on the ground if they are going to continue to take on new charities, organisations and patronages. But I do believe when we're talking about slimming down the monarchy, we're talking about the number that a taxpayer funded. It comes down to the money that's spent on housing, on security, on travel, on clothing budgets and all these other various things that lots of royals have been on what they call the gravy train for a number of years. Charles has already started whittling the numbers down. He even said recently that he's not a housing association. He is making people pay rent. There are lots of things that Charles is implementing, and I am in no doubt that William will implement his own rules when his time comes. I believe the key to it is not getting rid of all of the members of the royal family. It's still using them, but allowing them to have their own careers where they can earn their own money, but then they can still support the senior working royals at the smaller engagements or events or patronages and charities. So they're pretty much self-funded, but they are still part of the working cog, which makes the monarchy overall. Now, I know some people say, but that's just what Harry and Meghan wanted. No, it's not. Harry and Meghan wanted to make the big business deals with Netflix, with Oprah, with Spotify. They wanted to do all of that still, of course, but they haven't won anything to sell other than their connection to the royal family, as we have seen. They've got actually no certifiable talent. They wanted to do something for nothing, which is the difference with building a career. They wanted to be paid for being royals by commercial deals. And then on top of that, this is where the real cheat comes into it. They also wanted to be fully supported by the taxpayer. They wanted to be internationally protected people. They wanted security paid for as they went for jaunts all around the world. They wanted their Frogmore cottage still being available to them. They wanted, the security vehicles, the police, absolutely everything. They wanted that on top of doing their commercial deals. So they wanted to have their cake and eat it, in effect. And this is why that they were told no. It's a completely different ball game what those two greedy hucksters actually wanted. And that's why they were told, no, you're either in or you're out. Now, speaking of funding royals, a news story has come out about the duplicitous duo that if they decide that they come back, this is obviously to quell all the split up rumours. Now, Meghan is coming back with Harry. But if they decide to come back, Prince William will have to pay for them. And it's like, well, no, that's not how it works. Prince William is the Prince of Wales. He and his family, meaning Catherine and the children, are supported by the Duchy of Cornwall, which he inherited upon Prince Charles becoming king. The king, upon becoming the king, he then inherited the Duchy of Lancaster, and that is what all of the other royals are covered by financially. So what it should say is Charles will have to bankroll Harry and Meghan if they decide to come back to the UK. And given the fact that Charles has just taken the keys off of Frogmore, they're only permanent residents in the UK, and said, overseas you go, my loves, then I don't see that actually happening anytime soon. That to me seems like a story's planted to get the public angry again, to think that the public will be paying for Harry and Meghan. Someone is trying to stir the pot. And we are getting a lot of stories that are coming out at the moment. It's coming in thick and fast, and I think a lot of it is deflection due to all of the intensifying rumours that the couple are indeed living separately. Now, Harry and Meghan, through their sources, have come out to deny a story as well, the fact that they were actually kicked out of an exclusive private members club. Apparently that story is total fabrication. How funny is it that they're so quick to defend themselves when stories like that come out, but the more serious stories about, I don't know, Meghan living in a hotel, Harry living in a hotel, the children aren't living with them, more serious things that I would say, not a peep comes from their mouth. But dare say that they have been kicked out of an exclusive club in Hollywood, well, they're straight on it. Another headline that came out interestingly is Harry is having all footage of Meghan removed from the Netflix documentary, which is supposedly coming out at some point soon. But yes, this is the latest rumour that Harry is having all of the footage of Meghan removed. Much like couples do, you know, celebrity couples when they break up, the first people work out, oh, they deleted each other's photographs off of Instagram. Well, apparently Harry's doing it one step further. Maybe it is true. They are both petty enough to behave like this, but I guess we will see. I'm not going to hold my breath that it is actually going to be released at all at this point because it's over a year late, but it will be interesting to see if we do have lots of footage of Meghan, because as we know last time, she turned it into her own personal couture catwalk show. But in an added bonus, the fact that Hollywood are on strike, it means that we won't be getting anything produced by Harry or Meghan anytime soon. And I have to say, well, every cloud has a silver lining. Moving on to the next big story, which is obviously the title of this video. Harry, things are really not going that man's way at all. And I have to say, mini violin. In news that broke today, in one of Harry's many court cases, he has been dealt a big blow. Oh, it's kind of funny. It is funny. It's very funny. Right, so he's taken to court the Mail on Sunday. He's also taken to court the Mirror Group. That was what we saw recently, which I did a lot of stuff on, where he was in court. He did the statements where Harry was actually the first time that a member of the royal family had taken the stand, and he came out with lots of gibberish. Well, this one is to do with the Sun newspaper. The Sun and the News of the World were once together. The News of the World, after the phone hacking scandal broke, they got shut down. We know this, and we know that News of the World admitted that Harry was part of that, but Harry wasn't part of the big court case many years ago. He wasn't part of the litigants that actually won back then. Harry has only decided to raise it now, and he's blamed his family for it. Now, Judge Faircourt, he is the one that presided over the Mirror court case. The poor fellow is involved with this one because he is a High Court judge, and it's all very similar. But this is where I said that David Sherborne, Harry's lawyer, is going to have to remember to keep his story straight, because Harry likes to change it from case to case. Now, in this instance, the judge has thrown out the fact that the secret agreement exists within the palace and the media. In fact, in the ruling, the judge said Harry's case had not reached the necessary threshold of plausibility or cogency. Plausibility meaning seeming reasonable or probable. Cogency, the quality of being clear, logical, convincing, and lucidity. Basically, the judge was saying in so many words, it's a load of bollocks. He said, yes, Prince William did have a payout, but it was quite clearly obvious that the payout was in agreement. So a member of the royal family did not take the stand, attract lots of publicity to do with the case, and they agreed to do an out-of-court settlement. The judge said the payment to Prince William, however, demonstrates that NGN was willing to settle with Prince William rather than become embroiled in litigation as it is with the Duke. That's a bit of a burn there, isn't it? Yes, Prince William didn't want to create lots of unnecessary drama, but you do. The first bit that the judge has thrown out, he said, well, Harry's talk of a secret agreement between the palace and the media wasn't plausible, wasn't credible. He turned around and said, Harry has given absolutely no evidence. He's given no names of anyone in the palace or anyone that could substantiate that, in fact, a deal did exist. He went on to say that He believes that no one other than Harry seems to basically believe that there is, in fact, a deal. And probably Meghan, who no doubt convinced Harry of the secret deal in the first place. Paranoia! So that is now scratched and on the pile. Next up is the phone hacking. Harry can still take the son to court for trial for hacking, but not phone hacking. He has to come up with other reasons and other ways that investigators actually got private information other than hacking his voicemails. The phone hacking side of it is out. Bearing in mind that Harry's whole case has been built on phone hacking, it was hacking into his voicemails, that's how they knew where he'd be. It's the exact same case that he brought against the Mirror, but he's also bringing the exact same case against the Sun. Yeah, I know. It's baffling at times, and I'm sure that the judge is becoming increasingly baffled, because what is David Sherborne going to have different to what he didn't have in the Mirror case? Harry had no evidence available to say that he was hacked any other way outside of the phone hacking. But how else are they going to have obtained information? Harry said in the Mirror case, oh, they got the information about my broken finger from my doctors. Well, I'm sure the doctors are going to love that sort of accusation. There are laws and oaths in place that protects patients' privacy. Unless he's going to start going down like a spy Mission Impossible sort of route where he was given trackers on his car and inside his clothes. I mean, why has he never brought that up before? The fact is, Harry has built all of these cases on the phone hacking, and this part of the case, the judge has said, I'm sorry, you left it too late. Clearly, Harry has not been humiliated enough by his own standards. He took the stand and it was cringeworthy. Every day, Harry was sitting there, well, he was there for 2 days. He didn't turn up the first day. He didn't turn up to court and said, oh, I'm sorry, I was at my 2-year-old's birthday party. Like, that's an excuse you give to a judge. If that had been Joe Bloggs off the street, he would have found himself in a bit more trouble. But anyway, Harry, after then telling the judge through his lawyer he wants to be called His Royal Highness. And then Harry furthered it by sitting there saying, I don't know. I don't know. No, I've got no evidence. I felt like it was. I felt like it happened. That's my Harry voice. Sorry, I don't know why I put him all chavvy either. He's a bogan, as my cousins would say. But it's the fact that he sat there going, no, I know I've not got any evidence. Yeah, I know. No, I know. But I felt like it happened. I definitely feel like that if I don't win this case, it will be an injustice, Your Honour. And then when the judge turned around and said to him, don't talk about the case in between the next 24 hours, Harry joked with the judge, as you do, said, oh yeah, I'll tell my children later, thinking he was all funny. So I can only imagine the thought of having to sit through more witness statements from Prince Harry is already getting his wife to stitch in lots of mini bottles of alcohol into his robes, getting ready for that, because there is only one way that you could probably get through another 24, 48 hours of Harry talking about his feelings and how he thinks something happened. So Harry now has until January next year to try and compile enough evidence to get a win in this case. But given the fact, as I said, if he didn't have any evidence in the last case, he's not going to suddenly magically produce new evidence for this one. And if he does, well, let's just say that's going to be highly suspicious. So anyway, guys, tell me what you think in the comments, and I will see you very soon. Take care for now. Bye.